Happy Monday, everyone. I hope everybody had a great weekend, and I hope everyone has a great week. I wanted to do another video, of course. I'm still working on getting stuff set up in my house, and I never really have a lot of privacy in the house for me to do videos. So, unfortunately for now, it's always going to be in the car. So, yeah. Today, I wanted to discuss pretty much what a lot of us go through, which is separation. A lot of us do go through some toxic relationships. That's the only way we're going to learn. And a lot of us have kids from those toxic relationships. And so I kind of want to just discuss like my experience with, my daughter's father, and how I've overcome it. I mean, it's still always going to be some type of learning experience, because I have to deal with him for the rest of my life, pretty much. Even though I would prefer not to. I don't have that choice. I know how it is to feel like you don't have your father around, so I definitely, no matter what disagreement or what type of disrespectful arguments and stuff that we've had in the past, I've always tried to put that aside and make sure that my daughter has a relationship with him. It's not always easy. It takes a lot of selflessness to be able to do that. And I know a lot of women try to use their child against them, and it takes a lot of growth and maturity to do that. Not to say I'm fully mature and fully grown. I mean, I feel like no matter what, we still have to learn throughout our experiences for the rest of our life. So, just a little backstory about how me and her father met. We basically have known one another since we were like 12. We lived across the street from one another in Queens. My mom knew his mom, and his mom would watch me and my brother when my mom had to go to work, or she would come home late. We would go to their house and do our homework and stuff, and we lived right across the street. So that's how we've known one another. In junior high school, we ended up, like, I guess, being boyfriend and girlfriend. You know how those relationships goes. We were each other's first kiss. We kissed, like, in my driveway. Like a little kiss. And then I don't know what happened. I know that I ended up moving, and then I still went to the same school, but I ended up moving from that neighborhood. And of course, we always kept in touch. And then after, and he was really bad in school. Like, he was bad as hell. And that kind of like turned me off. I was like, like, he was just too show-offy and just bad in school. And I was like, I don't really like that. So, of course, your young relationship, it don't really matter. And then I moved to Florida for a couple of years. No, after junior high school. Yeah, after junior high school, after I graduated junior high school, I ended up moving to Florida and starting high school here in Florida. And I don't know, years later, I mean, this was when I think I was in college. I was in college. I was actually finishing up. This was like way in 2010. I don't know if I found him or he found me. I can't remember, on like Facebook or something. And then we just started like becoming friends again. Like, hey, like, I haven't seen you in years, whatever. And we ended up just talking. I ended up going to visit New York, just to hang out and chill. it was really weird because we were like, oh my god, like this was like my childhood's first kiss. Like we were all like, oh my gosh, like this is crazy. And it was like a happy moment because we always thought like, oh my god, like this is gonna be like my love for the rest of my life. Like we thought that we were gonna get married. Like we had all of that in our minds when we first got together. Now, mind you, we didn't see each other for years. A lot has changed. So, we were still getting to know one another. I knew him as a childhood boyfriend, but I didn't know him as like an adult. So I started to get to know him. We hung out a lot, had a lot of fun. And then he asked me to move out there with him. And I'm like, I have a part-time job. I'm still finishing school. Like, I can't just get up and move. Like, you know what I mean? He's like, no. I was an internship at that time, so I can always transfer my internship to New York if I wanted to. So, of course, being stupid and being in love, you do stupid things. And he's like, don't work. I'll take care of everything. Just come here, finish school, and then after that, you can get a job, and we go from there. So that's what I did. Not realizing that was probably not a good move, and for the long term. But when you're in love, you just take risk. Like you take risk to like see where things go, to love. You take risk to open your heart and let love in. So that's what I did, especially after a bad breakup. Before that, it was a big deal for me to do that. So so I ended up moving, transferring my internship. I finished my internship in New York, and I finished a couple of classes online. And then I went back to Florida to graduate and go to the ceremony. And then came back. We were together. I did the whole job hunting thing. I had to study for my exam. The next thing you know, before my graduation, it was literally like a year later of us dating for like a year and a half, something like that, is when I found out I was pregnant. So like we haven't really got to enjoy our relationship and getting to know one another before I ended up pregnant. We both knew what we were doing. Like we couldn't blame anybody. But he was not happy with it at all. We spoke about having babies, we spoke about names, we spoke about marriage, we spoke about all this stuff, and then I ended up pregnant, and then he ended up very unhappy about it. Not that I was trying to, and not that he was trying to, but we both knew what we were doing when we weren't really using protection with one another. So that was both of our faults. So, he wanted me to get an abortion. I was very scared to have a child without having someone to help me or having her father around. So I scheduled the appointment. We scheduled the appointment. A little bit before the appointment, I was very sick, like very, very sick when I was pregnant. And my dad took me to the hospital because I was just throwing up constantly or whatever. And I told him, like, he asked me if I was going to keep it. And then I was like, well, we kind of made the decision to not. I'm probably going to move forward with an abortion. And my dad never cries. So he was hysterical crying. Like, you can't do that. It's not the baby's fault. There's a reason why, God has her in your life. You can't do that. I still get emotional about it, so sorry. So I made a decision not to, because it hurt my dad. And I didn't want to hurt my dad at all. And I never seen him like that. So I decided to keep her, knowing that I may be a single parent. It's very scary, but I prayed about it a lot, and I decided to keep her. So here she is, my little blessing. I know that everything happens for a reason, and I know that she came in my life at the right time because I wasn't always doing the right things. I wasn't focused on my future. I wasn't focused on saving money. I wasn't focused on really anything other than living life at that moment. So for her to come into my life at that time was a blessing. So even though he didn't want me to have her, and our relationship ended up dead after that, it was still worth it because we probably weren't gonna make it anyway. So the only blessing I got out of that really was my daughter. So I just want to encourage, women out there who are probably going through the same thing. Don't make decisions to make other people happy. It's not fair that you have to live with the results for the rest of your life while someone else is happy because they got what they wanted. We got into really, 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 really big fights after that. I mean, I was pregnant and we would be like in each other's face, like arguing and fighting. There was one time I thought I was gonna lose her because I was just so stressed out. I was constantly crying every morning. I was sick, throwing up every day for 4 months until I decided that I wasn't gonna put myself through it anymore. I didn't want to put my daughter through that stress while she was in me. So I decided to up and leave to Florida and be around the support that I needed. So that's what I did. I ended up keeping her. I moved to Florida. He came to Florida when she was born. And I moved back to try to make it work. It didn't work. It is what it is. But I want to encourage you, whoever you are out there who is going through something or having a hard time making a decision, just know that everything that happens in your life is for a reason, and God makes sure to add and subtract from your life for a reason. So don't fight it. Just don't fight it, and don't make decisions just to keep other people happy. There are going to be times where people don't want to be responsible for their actions or the consequences for their actions, but that's their problem. You have to make sure that you are able to deal with that. And God forbid I would have done that and not have Kimmy. Who knows where my life would be right now. Truly, if you knew, which we're not there yet, but if you knew, I would probably be in jail or dead, or God forbid, a lot of things could have been so different. And even though having Kimmery has made me stronger, it has put me through a lot of challenging situations that I had to do on my own. I had to figure out help. I had to figure out my support system. I had to figure out how to pay for daycare. I had to figure out my career, saving money. Not that her father didn't send money and help me at that time. He really did. Thank goodness for that. But at the same time, I wasn't whole with myself. I wasn't fully whole, and I'm trying to take care of a newborn baby. And I was unhappy. I was dealing with postpartum depression at the same time. I was literally crying all the time. All the time. I can literally understand how women who are not strong-minded, how they can accidentally hurt a baby. That's how bad the depression gets. And thank God for my support system, for my mom, for the people that were there for me. Thank God for that, because I don't know what I would have done. It was that bad. So I mean, that was on my heart this morning because I realized that a lot of women are going through that same thing, and I just want to share my story because I want you to know that you can do it. Like, you can do it. It's gonna be hard. You're gonna cry, and still till today, there's some days that I'm still working on letting go of the pain of the past, that I literally have to like wait till Kimberly goes to sleep and go in the shower and just cry. Or if I feel like crying, I just tell Kimmy, oh, I'm gonna use the bathroom for a little bit, just give me a moment, and I'll cry. I can't allow her to feel or to see me feel very sad, because that makes her sad, and I don't want her to be worried or to be anxious or to feel like she's doing something wrong. You know, kids don't understand. And when I was younger, I didn't understand. When I used to see my mom cry, and I used to see her, you know, go through her emotional roller coasters, you know, depression and anxiety runs in my family. So I have worked really hard from when I had Kimmery to not be that way, or to not show Kimmery that I'm a little weak at some points. Like, I want to be there for her at all times. She has seen me cry before, and she has asked me before, and you know, I'm very honest with her. I'm just like, you know, mommy's just not feeling good, you know, whatever. But she understands that mommy will wipe her tears off, and I'll go. You know what I mean? Like, I don't ever show her that I'm just gonna stay in the bed and not do anything for her and not feed her. Not like, whenever she needs me, I'm up. Do I want to? That's a whole different story. Like, that is a battle with your mind, is being selfless enough to put yourself and your needs aside to be there for that child. Not many people have that in them. I didn't have it in me at some point, but I had learned, because of what I went through, that Kimmery deserves better. Just because I'm going through my emotional times or times where I'm not really feeling well, doesn't mean that she has to suffer from that. So, you know, I definitely try to make sure that if I have any type of emotional need to just cry and pray, I try to make sure that she's either sleeping or, you know, she's occupied. I do that, and I come back out, and I just continue to be Superwoman. So anyway, I just wanted to share that story again, because I know that there's people out there who are having a tough time, who have made bad decisions in the past and have to live with them. I think we all go through that. I think that I definitely have been through that. I've always been a rebel. I've always decided to learn from my own mistakes instead of learning from other people's mistakes. So I definitely understand, and just know that as long as you put your mind to it and you know what you want, and you pray about it, you can get through it. A lot of us get through it. We all make bad decisions. You just have to learn how to forgive yourself and understand that you made that decision based on what you knew at that time. Sometimes we don't all grow the same way. We don't all learn the same way. So, you know, just because other people may have it together and you don't right now, really doesn't mean anything. Like, focus on you and your life and what's happening in your life at the time, and do what you need to do to fix it. Don't compare yourself to other people or other people's lives, because everything happens in your time. When God says it's your time to go through certain things or to experience certain things, always remember that the reason why God puts you through certain things is because He has something in store that He's trying to either teach you, He's trying to gain your faith, That's one thing. If he sees that you don't have faith, he's gonna test it a lot, because he wants you to know that even though you don't see him, doesn't mean that he's not there. So he's definitely gonna test your faith, and that has been my struggle for the past couple of years, is my test of faith. So just keep it moving. Life is very short, so definitely try not to have too many sad times or sad moments. Pick yourself up, do what you gotta do, because it's all gonna come to you as long as you stay on track. So yeah, sorry for crying this morning. It was just heavy on my heart. I do know a couple of people who have gone through the same thing and who are still hurting from a lot of the mistakes and a lot of the things they've done in the past. And they try to hide it, but it always comes out in other relationships, your future relationships, a lot of the decisions you make, in your personality, your friendships. It comes out. So definitely take time to reflect, go running, have a picnic with yourself, whatever it is that makes you happy. Like, just do it, and don't wait for anybody else to do it with you. Like, just do it. It definitely helps to spend time with yourself, love yourself, and understand what makes you happy, despite your children, despite your spouse, despite your boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever. Everybody needs to kind of fix themselves in their own moment. All right, I'm almost to work. I'm emotionally drained already, and I'm already not at work yet. I hope this video will help someone, and of course, I'm always open to have conversations with people. I love speaking about stuff like this because I want to inspire other people, and I want other people to inspire me. So having people around that have gone through the same thing, who can understand you a little bit better than other people would, like, I just like that community. And because a lot of people, really quickly, a lot of people who haven't gone through that, they tend to judge. They tend to judge people who have gone through things and who act a certain way, who react a certain way, who make certain decisions. Like, they don't understand why, but it's not their place to understand why, and you don't really have to explain yourself. But I want you to know that there is a community in it, and there is other women and other people out there who struggle every day. I know that sometimes it feels alone when people are judging you, and people are making comments, and people think that you're exaggerating, and people think that you're just some sad, depressed girl. Like, I know that feeling. Trust me. People with sensitive hearts, such as mine, who have big hearts, who are not afraid to express it and wear their hearts on their sleeve. Some people don't understand that about people. Some people who are not fully mature or have not gone through that experience in their life yet sees that as a weakness in someone. So definitely don't worry about what other people think or what other people say about your vulnerability, because that's a strength. And just because it's not their strength at this time doesn't mean it's not yours. So definitely keep that trait going. People are gonna say stuff no matter what. Just find the people to be around that appreciate and love that side of you. Okay. All right, guys. I did enough talking this morning. I'm gonna go drink my coffee and go start working and get physician jobs. Love you guys. Even the people that don't really love me back, I still love you, and I pray for you. And I hope one day we can all come together and understand one another and be kind to one another. Talk to you guys later. Peace.